I love you! I love you! Give me your hand! Yes! Who's ready for some memes? Who's ready for some memes? I brought my own dancers! Not to be outdone by Bang, I brought my own dancers! Y'all ready?
It is said that if you do not succeed, you should try again. However, what do you say about somebody who fails and yet succeeds anyway? Benny Johnson, current Chief Creative Officer at Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA, is a man that is able to maintain continuous employment in right-wing activist journalism despite numerous controversies that would hold many others back. Benny is consistently hired for his ability to reach out to younger audiences despite failing miserably and coming off like an out-of-touch middle school public service announcement. Benny's biggest issue is attempting to appeal to the wrong demographic. Instead of using internet culture to lure young college students into the voting booth, Benny would likely do much better producing a video about fire safety that is meant for people under the age of 5. His manufactured high energy would be more appealing to a much younger audience that communicates well with jumping around and making loud noises. First, we will briefly discuss Benny Johnson's career in journalism, and we will finish off this video with a review of some of Benny's dank memes. Benny Johnson started his career in politics and activism in 2010, contributing for Breitbart. He wrote for them for about a year, being hired by Glenn Beck to work for The Blaze in 2011. These 2 years must have produced a decent portfolio for Benny, as he would be hired by Buzzfeed in 2012 as an editor. At around this time, he began to be known as Buzzfeed Benny. In 2014, news came out that Benny had plagiarized more than 40 stories that he had contributed to the website, which comprised of roughly 10% of his total work. They had even found instances of Benny copy and pasting Yahoo answers into his articles, and even for BuzzFeed, this was a bit much. Benny was subsequently fired from BuzzFeed, only to be hired by National Review just a few weeks later as digital director. After only a few months at National Review, Benny found himself without a shred of self-awareness, accusing a future employer of his of plagiarism. He must have had some time to reflect on this, as he would decide to seek employment from them only a few short months later. Benny joined Independent Journal Review in 2015 as Creative Content Director. At Independent Journal Review, colleagues of his accused him of plagiarism, taking credit for group work as his own, berating co-workers, and violating policies on attendance and composure with politicians. The last part refers to the fact that Benny was taking selfies with politicians despite the Independent Journal Review policy against it. Independent Journal Review would keep Benny until 2017, when a Business Insider article published allegations that he was abrasive with his subordinates. From the Business Insider article, Johnson will no longer be managing any employees at the conservative Upstart News website. He will also be forced to take communications training and be subject to a daily review, in addition to serving out a 1-week suspension. After serving his suspension, Benny would be fired in October of 2017, eventually leaving to go work at the Daily Caller the following month. How is it that so many of these outlets are perfectly fine with hiring a serial plagiarist to work for them? Are they really this desperate? Does Benny know some people near the top? It's downright bizarre that somebody with more than one plagiarist scandal would find steady employment in the industry of sharing information. But for some reason, Benny is one of those people who fails upwards. His failures somehow lead to success. Benny would later resign from the Daily Caller in January of 2019 to go and work for Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA, which brings us to this man's idea of entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Benny the Meme Lord Johnson.
Lord Johnson.
The first one we're going to look at was from last year at a Turning Point USA event.
Guys, the left can't meme. It is illegal to have a sense of humor on the left. That's why they can't meme. You need humor to meme. Conservatives are the only one allowed to still laugh in society. Hey libs, by the way, guess who we're all laughing at?
I don't think up until this time I had seen anything so out of touch. Now that people saw that there was money to be made, people like Benny Johnson ran forward with their dank memes that they found on Facebook with a purple bucket, hoping that maybe you'll donate some money to them to help save society, help save civilization. We are reaching levels of lack of self-awareness and ego flagellation that I never thought possible. So he's got backup dancers, he's got this big audio system and lights going around. It looks like he's trying to appeal to people 10 years younger than the people who are present at this event. He brought his own dancers, and then somebody comes out dressed up like a shark. I know that they have to at least pretend that they're promoting conservative values, but if you're gonna do an event at a college and you're gonna have women dressed up in shark outfits, maybe you have the wrong idea. No joke, there is a TED Talks of him sharing memes on a PowerPoint presentation. Each of these memes are so try-hard, and you'll see with this next one right here. The word cringe is often overused, almost to the point of having no meaning. There couldn't be a better example of content that makes your entire body record scratch and reel back in yikes. To help illustrate this point, here's another video that he shared to Twitter just the other day. I think a lot of us make content like this for entertainment value, just to pass the time, or we think of a funny idea and want to share it with people. I've gotten a lot of funny memes from my audience, and you know, they were all much higher quality than anything he has put out. And maybe it's because he's clearly trying to make money, to build a brand. In contrast, the audience here, and even myself, we make different memes, a couple videos, because it's fun. Even if the meme didn't land and it ended up not being a good video or a good picture, the intention was to make you laugh, or maybe to get a point across. When you see clips like this one and you just know that there is a boardroom full of people debating on the proper way to make this clip go viral, there is just no sincerity at all. It wouldn't surprise me if these people who make these memes now don't even believe in the things they're making. It almost comes off like it's some sort of op in order to make this side of politics look incredibly cringy. Because this, right here, this ain't it, chief. These desk jockeys, these boardroom bureaucrats, they are trying so hard to convince everybody watching that they are having a ton of fun. But it's clear by watching them that this is all mechanical. It just looks like they're trying so hard. When there is money to be made, people like Benny show up with their purple bucket to capitalize on momentum that they don't really understand. They are so eager to go viral that they attach themselves to anything they can without the smallest shred of self-awareness. If anything, videos like this will get people to flip. It's so patronizing, so pedantic. I can't imagine anyone actually seeing this and saying to themselves, this is how we win. This is how we'll make our lives better. Nah, if anything, videos like this are collectively making all of our lives worse.
If you haven't given money to VCPR and you're listening to this station, you are a thief.
That's right, Michelle. You might as well throw a brick through the window and loot the place. How selfish you people are. This is public radio, serving the public with everything that is important.